Okay guys, so today I'm going to be working on the 52-inch DeWALT toolbox. I got this thing a while back. I did a intro video when I got it. And it's been a pretty good toolbox. Can't really say anything bad about the toolbox. Other than I'm not real happy with the way the drawers kind of snap in. If you let it go, it really snaps forward. This does not have those soft close drawers. And I find that if you just let the drawer go and it snaps forward, the tools slide forward in the drawer. Not a big deal. What I've done to fix that is I just kind of hold on to the drawer and do not just let it go, let it slam shut. And that kind of takes care of that problem. There are other few things that I want to take care of on this thing that I've actually wanted to do for a while, just haven't had time to get them done. One thing you'll notice is on the top hood here, there's no handle or no indentation or anything to lift this thing up. Basically, you got to kind of get between here and pull it up. And there's really nothing to pull it down with either. So that's kind of weird that they did that. So I got an idea to put a handle on there. Not just any handle, a cool handle. Speaking of handles, I never did install the handle for the side because this was kind of a stationary box. It didn't really move. And I wanted to get it real tight up against my other box, so I didn't put the handle on. Now that we've done some different things with the workbench and everything, this thing will have to roll around. And it is pretty much fully loaded and the thing rolls pretty good. So pretty impressed with that. Like I said, not too many bad things about this toolbox. Actually, I don't think you're going to be able to find this toolbox. They sold out, I think, pretty quickly on this thing. I got it for a really good price. You can check the video, the first video I did on this thing, if you want to see that. But yeah, I got to get the handle on there. It's just 2 bolts. Now, another thing is I did wipe this off and clean it off. It was pretty dirty, but I got it all cleaned up. Pretty good anyway. Under here it's a mess. I've got to pick up all my junk and rearrange the chargers a little bit. There should not be sandpaper in there. There should not be a light in there. I got to take this plug-in deal. This is kind of before they put the plug-ins. Now they all got plug-ins, but I'm going to take this and kind of, I think, bolt it to the back side of the deal there to get it up off the surface here, to put the chargers there probably on the side. But this little open area up here is pretty nice actually. So we'll be doing that. And one final thing we're going to be doing is these bottom drawers only open halfway like that. You can modify them so they open fully, which is what I've done to this one already. It's just, you just take a clip out. So I got to do that to this other box. I just didn't do it. They do that for safety reasons. There's dual glides there. You can put like 200 pounds in there. And I guess if you put 200 pounds in there and you open it all the way up, you have a chance of tipping your box over. I am not going to have 200 pounds in there, so I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to eliminate the lock there so it can open all the way. It's just easier to get stuff out when you can open it all the way. But anyway, enough of the babbling here. I'm going to get to working on it. Okay, so we're going to start out easy here. We're going to put the handle in here, and you just slide it in the slots there. It's angled, and then you put the bolts in there. Okay, so next easy project is getting these to open up all the way. You see I've got it opened up all the way now. What stops that from opening up is this deal right here. So here they are off of the drawer glide, and I'm just going to store them in the bottom drawer there in case someone wants to put them back on. But that's it. There's one on each side. Unscrew them, and that's it. Okay, so the next mod is not going to be that easy. Going to require a bit of drilling and a bit more effort. Going to be installing a handle, and I'll show you what I've got for that. Okay, so here's what I have for the handle on the toolbox. This is a DeWALT Crescent wrench. Apparently it's a 10-incher. I picked this up a really long time ago. I was going to put the handle on a long time ago, just never got to it. I'm going to be trying to install it with these little bolts here. You'll notice there are no holes in this wrench, so we're going to have to be drilling holes in this thing. Drilling holes in wrenches is usually not an easy process because the metal is usually hardened steel, so they don't really take to drilling very well. The plan is to put a hole right around here and a hole right around there, so to be able to bolt this on the front side of that hood on the toolbox. So I guess I'm going to start drilling this thing. So I've got my spots that I'm going to be drilling center punched. There and there. So let's head over to the drill press. We'll see if we can't get this thing drilled out. Okay, so we're at the drill press drilling this out. I'm going to want to start out with a small drill bit, work your way up to the size you want. Like I said, these tools are usually hardened. I'm using cobalt drill bits to drill through this. Going pretty good. I'm just taking my time. I've got the rag on there, trying not to scratch the wrench as I clamp it on. Trying to keep my tool level so I don't get a crooked drill here. And I've almost got this one. I gotta go one more size bigger. Then I'm gonna do the other side there. Then we'll have to do matching holes on the toolbox. Okay, so I got the wrench drilled out, and right now I'm just looking for a center line up and down, and I'll probably stay on that line, and then I'm going to try to center it up on the lid side to side as best I can. The wrench is not proportioned the same. It's got a different proportion, so ultimately it's just going to go on here the way I like the looks of it. So right now I'm just getting the center line here. We'll stick it up there, see what I think about it, and then we'll drill the holes once I figure out the spot I want to drill it with. Using a piece of tape here, when you're drilling through painted metal, the tape will help keep the chipping of the paint to a minimum. And also I can mark on this thing without marking on the actual box. So that's why I'm using a piece of tape here. Okay, so I got my marks, figured out where I'm going. Now we drill with our DeWALT tools. Okay, so I got the holes drilled in the box. Moment of truth. If we got it drilled right. I'm just using two nuts to give me a little bit of spacing off of the toolbox. I don't want a whole lot. This wrench is pretty heavy too, so don't really want to have it too far out of the box there. She's a snug fit, but I'd rather it be snug than loose, I guess. Well, there we go. I got to tighten her down. I'm going to probably put a bigger washer on the back side of this, just so it is kind of sheet metal, and I don't really want the wrench to rock back and forth. So I'm going to go do that. Okay, so I got her bolted on, tightened down. Real happy with what I've got here, what it looks like. Bring it up and down. Real happy. Now we got to clean this top off. Okay, so I've got this top piece cleaned out. And I've got my mat drying. I had to clean that off. It was pretty bad under here because I never shut the door, and that was a mistake. The whole idea is to shut the door, keep all your stuff clean, so you just got to clean the top of the toolbox off. I will be closing it from now on. The only reason I didn't want to close it is when you opened it, it didn't have a handle, and you'd leave all kinds of marks on the front of the thing trying to push it up with your fingers. So now that I got a handle, I can shut it. One thing you're going to notice here is I've got my power strip mounted to the back of the toolbox there. I thought about leaving it here, but moving it up there is going to open up this space here for chargers. We're kind of full right now with tools, but I would like to maybe get a few more of the 20 volt stuff. So I'm trying to get as much floor space here, I guess you would say, in the toolbox as I can. Don't ask where I got this yellow power strip. Dad, I think, found them on sale somewhere a long time ago. I picked up a couple of them. They were in the back of our cabinet forever until I bought this toolbox, and then I grabbed one for this, got it out. But anyway, I had to drill holes in the toolbox, just some 1/4 inch holes. It wasn't bad, but yeah, there it is. I think I'm gonna like it right there. I think it looks good. I'm gonna clean up my tools, clean up my charger, get my mat in there, and we'll get all the tools put back in. So there we go. Got everything back in there. All of our drills, impact drivers. I'm pretty proud to open the lid and see that. That's about as organized as you're gonna get. I got the chargers over here. This fast charger for the 20 volt, or the flex volt, whatever they want to call it, is pretty big, but it does charge those big batteries fairly quickly. I did also add a little 90 there to kind of clean up the plugs. I'd like to get, a 90 for each one of these instead of a splitter, but we only usually have one charger going at a time anyway. But I'm gonna see if I can't find a 90s for them. And yeah, that's gonna do it for that, guys. I got a couple more things that I want to do to this box before I say I'm done with it. So I'm gonna get to that. Okay, so went back to Amazon and picked up some more of these, the LED strip lights. I've got 2 of the rolls. I had to get another controller. Also got some of this wiring because I'm going to run the controller at the top of the toolbox, and I'll just run the lights down to the bottom. There's the strip light, or a piece of it. It can be cut every so many feet there. It says RGB, so it changes colors. I got my little soldering gun there, or iron, and various tools here to strip back this very small wire. And I'm going to do some soldering. Oh, also picked up some 90-degree connectors and regular connectors, so I can hook this light up. Basically run it around the bottom of the toolbox. It's got sticky tape there. I'm going to just stick it to the bottom. And there we go, guys. After, like I said, a bunch of soldering, wiring, and putting all those connectors together, basically just run it all the way around the bottom of the toolbox on the edge. It's going to be plugged in, you know, probably 90% of the time, so it's running off the strip light that got the controller box there, the little brain box there, and I've got the wires right now coming in from the back. I got a deal that's going to hide this, and I'll show you what I do there. I'm not going to leave it like that. Okay, so I got the back side all cleaned up. Got that the wire for the lights in a plastic deal that here's a piece of it, and I guess this is for like running wires like outside the wall. You stick your wires in that and then snap the cover on, and it hides them. We just had this stuff laying around, so I used it. Painted it flat black to match the other black on the toolbox, and it looks really clean. Probably not needed, but it probably protects that wire a little bit. Like I said, cleans it up. It looked like a mess with just that wire hanging there. All I did was stick it on there with double-sided tape. I used the stuff at the home store. I probably should have used the auto part stuff. That seems to be better. The stuff with the red backing. So if this falls off, I'll just stick on with the other stuff. But really cleans up the back of the toolbox here. But just like my bench build that I did, got some underglow on the toolbox. I think it's cool. Some guys might think it's stupid, whatever. It's my toolbox, I guess. One other thing is that I got the little controller here. And this controller will actually run both lights, so I only need one. They'll run the lights under my bench and my cabinets, and they'll run this. So really it's kind of nice. You just got to point it at which one you want it to work at. And yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. Probably set this one as yellow or maybe white. The other colors really don't go with the yellow, I don't think, very good. But anyway, I got one more thing here, and we're gonna call it quits on this toolbox. Okay guys, so one final modification. to the toolbox here. And we're done. So I also took off a decal. I call it the lawyer decal that was on there. I don't need to be told to be careful when moving it, and I don't need to be told that you're not supposed to bring out or not supposed to open every drawer on the toolbox at one time. So I don't need common sense on the side of my toolbox. Looks a lot better without it, I think. So there it is, guys, the finishing touch. On the toolbox. I really liked my toolbox before. Now I love it. I think it's awesome. So I guess that's going to do it for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I had fun getting my toolbox the way I want it. I got some more tools to go in there. I'm going to get it organized a little bit. Then we'll probably do some toolbox tours. Once we get a little more organized. But I guess, guys, I'll see you in the next one.